Welcome to the show, Made of More, where we dive into the stories behind local entrepreneurs who have overcome, built, and inspired. Today, we're sitting down with Karissa Bresheare, the owner of Gourmet Latte, a Seattle favorite that's become so much more than just a coffee shop. It's become a symbol of consistency, community, and hustle. But right now, they're facing a big challenge, and we're here to share that story.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Karissa Bresheare. This is our welcome to the first show.
I know. What an honor. Thank you so much. This is no pressure. No pressure.
Thank you to the first show.
Of course.
You know, Karissa and I ran into each other by happenstance. Yep. I actually put out to the universe that I'm like, hey, I want to interview for the very first show whoever owns Gourmet Latte.
Aw.
And then I did the research, and then just a few days ago, I got an email from a colleague that I didn't even know either that well a little bit, and they said, hey, can you help Karissa? And then we talked.
Nice. Yep.
You remember that conversation?
Yep, I do absolutely remember that conversation. And I remember telling you, hey, I'm in trouble. I'm going to be having a circumstance that's out of my control, but I need some help. And if you can help me, I'd really appreciate it. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later.
Yeah, we will. So today what I want to do is really get into the story behind Karissa, behind you and this entrepreneurial spirit. And my first question is, what was the very beginning of your business journey, and where were you inspired? Did you feel adversity? What was it?
Oh, okay. So I think I got my entrepreneurial spirit from my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Both my grandmas were entrepreneurs, and definitely from my mom. So my mom owned a small grocery store in Custer, Washington, and she was so popular. Mm-hmm. She did such a great job with Custer Country Store that they named her the honorary mayor of Custer.
Really?
And
What year was that? Because I frequented Custer.
So, she's been out of it for probably going on 15 years now, but she ran it for over a decade. And so let's see. I put everything in reference to, I lose track of time, but my daughter was born in 2000, so she was still running the store when I had baby Julia. So, yeah.
So she was your inspiration.
She was my inspiration. She taught me how to do a starting till.
Okay.
I was clueless. I was absolutely clueless. And she goes, well, you're going to have to learn how to count back change, and don't rely on the cash register, and you better learn your math. So anyways, that's how that all started.
So after that, what was your very first business journey?
Well, actually, it started well before Gourmet Latte. I dabbled a little bit. I was previously married, and we had started up a roofing company, and we had started up a T-shirt printing company, and a couple other little things. And of course, those didn't really pan out the way that we had hoped. And him and I separated and went our separate ways. And I found that I had a passion for coffee. And
how'd that start?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I actually loved coffee even when I was little.
Sure.
So I remember going out to dinners with my dad and my mom, and they would get me ice cream, and they would pour cold coffee over the top of vanilla ice cream. And that was the dessert. And absolutely loved it. So loved coffee when I was little. And as I got older, I joined a coffee club, like a coffee nerd.
Okay.
And
was that here in Washington?
It was here in Washington. So I was born and raised in Washington. So
good old Washingtonian.
Yeah, for sure. And joined a coffee club and loved that, and got hired on at Boeing.
Okay.
And I was a quality assurance inspector. And then I got my pink slip. I got my notice.
So how long were you at Boeing?
About 5 years.
About 5 years. Mm-hmm. And did you enjoy that time there?
I did.
Okay.
Actually, I really liked my job at Boeing.
So that pink slip came as a big surprise then.
Well, I knew that, they were handing out quite a few of them at that time. So I knew that there was a good possibility. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, I got the unfortunate news, and I'm like, well, now what? I love coffee, and I used to go to a little coffee drive-through close by in Everett. And I would get my 16-ounce mocha, and it was delicious. And I thought, you know what? I could do something like this.
Okay.
And so it kind of stuck in my head.
Kind of starts here.
It kind of started there. And then I was talking with my stepdad, Bill, who's since passed away. And he ran the store with my mom, Custer Country Store.
Okay.
So they ran that together. And I was telling him, I would love to do something like this, some sort of coffee drive-through. And he goes, well, I bet you could do something like that. You've got the personality. And, didn't think much else of the conversation. And I would say maybe a week later, he says, let's meet for lunch. I'm like, okay. He shows me a little drawing, a little sketch of a building.
And where
that
was
he
this
designed.
building? Okay.
Yeah.
So just imagination at this point. Okay.
Yeah. So he designed this building, and it had little bulb lights all around it. And very unique, very cute. And he goes, I think that you would be good at this. This is something that I want to support you in. And he went to town, and he actually built the building in his front yard.
Okay. And did you guys have a piece of real estate already identified, a location?
No.
So you built it. You built it, and they will come.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, he got started on building it, and then I got started on trying to find a location for it.
Okay.
So he was building that in his front yard.
All right.
And I'm like, well, we need a place for this. And so I started scouting around, and I found a location in Linwood, and that's where I got my start, as the city of Linwood.
Was this the first Gourmet Latte?
Very first Gourmet Latte.
Really?
Yeah,
so what year was this?
That would have been 1995.
All right.
Yeah.
So 1995, Gourmet Latte is born.
Yeah, in 1995. Yeah.
Thank you, Uncle.
Yeah. Well, stepdad. Stepdad.
Yeah.
Yeah, my stepdad. And so I found this location, contacted the landlord, the property manager of that location. And I'm not sure why he thought that I would be a good candidate to rent, but
you have good energy, good aura.
maybe it was that, because I had no rental history or anything like that with commercial properties, at least. And he took a chance on me. And, I'm forever grateful that he took a chance on me.
So, yeah. That
and rented that property to me. So that was my very first one.
Your very first one. And is it still there?
It is still there.
Is it the one I passed by on the way to the mall?
That one is, I think you're thinking about the Alderwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one actually is number 17.
That's number 17.
So that one is more recent. I would say that opened in 2020.
In 2020. 17. So how many do you actually have?
23.
23. Wow.
Yeah. So majority of them are here in Washington, and one in Florida, Southwest Florida.
That sounds like another story.
Place. It is. It's probably another podcast, but it's my happy place for sure.
Fantastic. So what lessons did you learn in that first year? What kind of adversities early on did you find?
Lessons that I learned is I wasn't a very good barista. I better hurry up and figure this out, because I don't make the best coffee.
You didn't make that. So what was the solution to that?
Hire people that do make the very best coffee.
Okay.
So I was too busy chatting with the customers and holding up the lines and forgetting a syrup and things like that. And
You're the personality and the brains behind the business.
Well, maybe that's it. But I was smart enough that I figured it out, that I should not be trying to do this myself. So
okay. So, my memory serves me, there wasn't a whole lot of drive-throughs back then in the 90s.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. In fact, the one that I went to that kind of gave me my inspiration was one of the very first ones in Everett. And and one of the very first ones, and it was small, but they had a great barista working in there. I always got a great quick
Did you hire
mocha. Her? No, did not hire her, but definitely got some inspiration.
Okay.
There was another company that had been in business for a couple years or so that I really paid close attention to and got a lot of inspiration from. Espresso Connection, and Christian Carr was the owner.
Okay.
And he was so giving of his time and his knowledge. And I just, big shout out to him, because he was quite kind with his time. And
I just mentored you for
he
free?
He did. And he was amazing.
Took you under his wing.
Yeah. Whenever I'd call or whatever, he took my calls, which is nice.
Yeah. It's surprising out there, like when you're out there doing something and trying to do better for yourself and your community, which is the reason why you're here, because I love what you're trying to do for your community, that other people notice that. And we find these, I don't want to say these godsends that kind of mentor us for either a long time or a short time.
Yep, they get sent into your life for a purpose, for a reason, and they're a blessing. Yeah, and he was a blessing. absolutely.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I'm going to keep rolling with the questions here.
Go for it.
So
I'm going to take a drink.
yeah, you know what? I'm going to take a drink too here. So
Cheers.
cheers. As you can
Nice.
see,
Yeah,
we got a
there you
gourmet
go.
latte here.
Latte, come here. Nice.
All right. So personally, so there's some business challenges, but like in that first year, personally, tell me how you may have been tested.
Okay. Well, the big test was just realizing that I wasn't the best person to be doing what I was doing. So I needed to put a search out for people who were better at being a barista than what I was.
Right.
I actually had my mom helping me
Okay.
for a very short time.
That's great, though, to have that memory with your mom.
It was memorable.
Yeah.
I'm sure the customers definitely remembered. But yeah, the both of us together, oh my goodness. Yeah. So anyways,
A little
that
bit
was
of friction.
Yeah. Well, it was
That's
just
natural.
It was short lived. No, there's no friction.
Okay.
No, not at all. She was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She was great with the customers, and the customers loved her. But her and I were very similar, and we may or may not have gotten your drink order correct. It just depends on the conversation.
Okay.
So, the good thing is that I ended up hiring some people that worked out to be absolutely amazing baristas.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they stayed with me for quite some time.
So do you still have baristas from the very beginning?
Not so much the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have one that I'm still very close to.
Sure.
And she actually started a spin-off company,
Okay.
Gourmet Espresso Catering.
Okay.
And she's killing it.
Really?
Absolutely killing it. So with her catering, she gets rave reviews, and
So it
she's
sounds
just
like
doing
a
wonderful. And she works.
positive inspiration on her.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Like to think so. I mean, she also is an inspiration to me because she's definitely had some struggles, ups and downs with business and all that. And there's been plenty of times where, she's said, I'm out of here. I'm quitting. Not Gourmet Latte, but, just being a small business owner. It's like, I hear you, girl. I hear you. So it was really nice to, I started off being her boss.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes off to start her own company, and now we can talk about things, similar struggles.
Yeah, on a similar playing ground.
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. And she knows. She's like, wow, Karissa, I can't believe, how'd you do it? I go, well, you're doing it right now.
So the support and camaraderie continue then?
Oh, absolutely. It's awesome.
One thing that people don't get to see, a lot of our customers and people from watching us, what we're doing, they see like, wow, we got Gourmet Latte or we got X, Y, and Z business. And there's all this success when you're on the outside.
Yeah.
They
have no idea what it takes.
Yeah. Just about every single entrepreneur that I've ever spoken to, whether they're uber successful today or somewhere in the middle, they all run into struggles with maybe the economy, with money. Has that happened to you ever?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You want to share a little bit?
Sure. I'll share some dirty laundry.
Yeah.
There was one low point that went on for, I'd say probably about maybe 6 months or so, that money was excruciatingly tight.
Give us an idea what year this was or how long ago.
Well, being in business going on 30 years now, my memory of dates and things like that gets a little hazy, but it was back before baby, so before 2000.
Okay.
So, and I might have just mismanaged bills and things like that, but I checked my bank account every morning like I always do, and I'm like, oh no, we're in the red. This is not good. No. This is not good. And so I distinctly remember, just my heart sinking and calling up my manager, Jenny, take everything you have in the till and can you just go to the bank right now and deposit all of it? She's like, yeah, what's going on? I go, you don't want to know, just please. And she goes, you bet, not a problem.
Yeah.
And she did. So I went and took all the money out of the till, and I don't know what she used to make change, but
yeah, she made it work that day.
She made it work. She made it work for me. So
we had some cash flow
issues. Absolutely.
Like, how many stores did you own at this time?
I only owned a couple at that time.
So still a couple. One is a lot. Two is a lot.
Absolutely. So
So you're still pretty new.
Yeah, I'm still pretty new, and I'm actually grateful that it happened more early on. Because it taught me to you better reconcile everything a lot quicker.
Yeah. Okay. And then so we had cash flow issues. We had 2 stores.
Yeah.
and we're starting to think about what's next.
Yeah.
More
locations, baby.
More locations. So you're thinking, okay, there's some issues, but the solution is starting to think about how do we grow from here?
Yeah, absolutely. Get my systems and processes in place. Absolutely.
Was that a natural thought? Like, hey, because some people, when they're having money issues, they're ready to fold.
Yeah.
Or internally, they're thinking, I think I got to might close doors tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did that thought ever happen?
Not that I would close. I am too much of a fighter. I am.
Yeah, I can sense that in your personality.
I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to. I'll figure out a way somehow, some way.
Okay.
So
where'd you get that from?
Oh, probably from my mama.
From your mama. All right.
Absolutely, my mom is pretty tough. I remember one time somebody tried to steal something out of her store, and she wasn't having it.
She didn't have it.
No,
they didn't leave.
No.
With that item.
Well, they left with bite marks on their knee.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, she was fierce.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't mess with mom.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Sounds like a firecracker.
It really, truly is.
You didn't have to do that to somebody.
No. But we've definitely had our struggles with, that sort of stuff. But we could probably talk about that a little bit later with burglaries and robberies and theft and things like that. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, we're just going to segment into our break here, and we're going to continue.
Okay. Sounds good. And I'm going to take another sip.
Me too.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All families are different, and some have parents or children with little to no eyesight. But this doesn't stop them from sharing the work, play, love, and laughter of family life. Eyesight doesn't define a parent, a child, or a family. What counts is being together. Want to learn more? Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
Hello, I'm Chris Erdmann. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW, I sit down with inspiring entrepreneurs, creative minds, and game changers to uncover the real stories behind their business. On my show, Made of More, we explore the challenges that they've overcome, the breakthroughs that they've celebrated, and the mindset that drives them forward. If you're ready to unlock your full entrepreneurial potential, Made of More is the show for you, because here we know you are made of more. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW.
Some people know a good thing when they hear it. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to Made of More. I'm Chris Erdmann, your host, and I'm here with Karissa Bresheare of Gourmet Latte. So we're going to get back into the interview here. So thank you for everything that you've been just letting everybody, being so transparent with everything here.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, we left it off right before the commercial, like your grandma bit somebody in the knee, and you were talking about...
It was my mom
your
who
mom
bit this guy trying to steal, I think it was some beer or something from her store, and she was not having it, so... Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to mess with those.
Hopefully, she
consumers.
set the tone for anybody else thinking of stealing from her store.
I think she sounds like a tough cookie.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you're also starting to get into that you've faced some certain challenges like that as well.
I have, absolutely. So Gourmet Latte we've had so many break-ins and burglaries and things like that that I've really lost count.
Yeah.
Over
Not
the years.
in even just one specific location, but just throughout different.
All. Yeah, there's no particular location in any city that is immune, unfortunately. I would say that our Florida location hasn't had anything happen yet, so I'm going to knock on wood. But, I mean, we just opened that location. So,
well, these are some of the issues that people just don't see.
They don't. They really don't have to deal with the 2 a.m. Phone call from the police saying, "Hey, you might want to get here and secure your building." There's broken glass everywhere, and when there's broken glass, that means you better be doing the best cleanup ever
that you can.
Because you don't want your baristas getting cut on that glass.
No, you don't want them feeling, or you want them feeling safe too, right?
Absolutely.
So when something like this happens, as a business owner and a great leader like you are, like what do you do to make sure that your staff or your employees that they feel like they're working at a safe place and they can continue?
Yeah, that's really important to me. Absolutely. I've kind of said privately, if something really bad were to ever happen to one of my baristas, I don't know if I'd want to continue on. It's just, it would be so devastating. So their safety is very, very serious to me.
Yeah,
And,
it's more about the people, not the money.
It really, truly is. So I definitely, their safety is priority above a lot of things, actually, most things. So much so that we've got security bars on some of our Seattle locations. We've never had to do that prior to just about 2 years ago. It's just gotten so bad. So we had to hire a company to come and put security bars on our windows and things like
just
that.
to make them feel safe, keep them safe.
And just to prevent break-ins and whatnot. What else have we done? Oh, one of our locations, we've had to hire a part-time security guard.
Okay. But you know what? You're doing it.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
Not all businesses take these extra steps, and that's really great.
Especially coffee business, right?
Yeah.
Especially an espresso drive-through, because that's what we do. We don't, thankfully, that's another blessing, is that we don't have indoor seating. So we don't have customers coming inside of our kiosks. It's strictly drive-through.
Sure.
So there's a little bit more of a sheltered feeling when you're in there,
Right.
because the customers are, on the other side of the window and you're in this building.
And you teach them cues or anything to see, so you can see ahead of time for strange activity or?
Well, not so much. We just tell them where the panic buttons are.
Good.
Things like that. I'm thinking carefully how much I want to disclose on a podcast about our security and safety measures, but we definitely have them in place. Oh, yes. Yeah. Full digital color cameras, surveillance systems, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. Well, I want to kind of pivot this a little bit. And, so being in the Seattle area, I mean, I don't know if you're in competition, but Starbucks is here. I mean, everybody, I don't know who doesn't.
Starbucks.
How do you stay differentiated from all these there's a lot of coffee places here.
There is, for sure. Absolutely. There's a lot of competition, and there's a lot of really good competition. So, how we stay unique is that our customer service is top notch. We hire the best baristas. Sure. So another reason why I had to make an exit from being a barista, I knew that I wasn't the best person for the job, and we hire the best baristas.
Okay. Best
personalities, warm, local, and ones that really take pride in their coffee.
I have to say, I agree with you. Every time I go through a Gourmet Latte, first of all, moving up into the area, I didn't know Gourmet Latte because I wasn't in the Seattle area. Yeah. And then I had a few friends. You have to go to Gourmet Latte. They have the best lattes. And I mean, I had this one friend tell me a couple times, it's like, you have to go. I'm like, I have to. I've been driving by. I have to check this out.
Love that.
And you know what? I think that you guys have some of the best customer service that I've experienced.
That's the biggest compliment to me that you can make, is telling me that we have the best customer service.
Yeah.
We really try hard.
I could tell. It wasn't over the top where I'm like, oh my gosh, there's too much energy coming in. But it was like, this feels really good, really natural. Like you're hiring the right people. It's not forced.
Yeah.
And the coffee's smooth.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. We've been with Cafe d'Arte for the whole time, 30 years.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So my first run-in with Cafe d'Arte was I went to one of their shops in Seattle and just got just a regular latte in the porcelain cup, just your traditional latte. And it was the best cup of coffee I had ever had in my entire life. And mind you, I had had a lot of coffee and, was part of a coffee club, the whole 9 yards. And I knew instantly that Cafe d'Arte's got to be a roaster. And
where are they located?
Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah. And
supporting local.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were so gracious. They did a lot of training with me and were very, very good about telling me the ins and outs and giving me all the advice that they could. And I'm so glad that I've stuck with them and they've stuck with me. And
sounds like
30 years later.
30 years later. Wow. You didn't have to switch. I hear of a lot of people switching from different roasters. And just keep pivoting.
Yeah. No, their quality is top notch. I could probably count on one hand the number of times that I've had a minor quality issue. And boy, do they take that seriously. So, in 30 years, less than 5 times. I mean, that's a great track record. And
something, this makes me wonder, like for the listeners that are listening in, especially the ones that are thinking about doing something different, whether it's coffee or retail or something, what, as 30-year veteran in the coffee industry, what type of advice do you have? What are maybe the 3 top elements if you're thinking about starting a retail business? that you would tell somebody?
Okay. So this is for any type of business, whether it's coffee or any retail business. I would say that you definitely do not forego your business plan. You need to have a business plan. It doesn't have to be anything, super in-depth, but it has to be a generalization of where do you see you taking your company. Do you want to keep it small? There's advantages to keeping small and just, keeping it one location. Or do you see that you're going to want to expand this right from the get-go? And just having a business plan along with having your financial house in order.
Sure.
I can definitely vouch for that one. As I told you earlier that, I ran into that little cash flow problem that, set me straight, got me scared straight. So I'd say making sure that you've got a good financial plan. You want to have...
There's organizations that help you with that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, of course, everybody knows about the SBA, but there's places like SCORE that you can reach out to. I highly recommend SCORE. SCORE is made up of a bunch of retired, most of them retired, some of them aren't retired, business owners that just want to give back.
Sure.
And it's free of charge.
I know some of the
So why
universities
wouldn't
also
you?
have like a business department where they try to help out local businesses, right?
Yep.
Depending where you're at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Take advantage of it.
So business plan,
Business plan,
and
financial
financials.
plan.
Financial plan.
And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So that means including get yourself on QuickBooks or equivalent.
Sure.
And get that taken care of right away.
Okay. Any other
And get a
pieces?
CPA.
A CPA.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the business formation side.
Yes.
What about kind of some of the other stuff that they should be thinking about?
Yeah.
Anything
Well,
about personality or
Well, if you plan on having employees, you're going to want to craft an employee handbook sooner rather than later. Your employees need to know what your expectations are.
sure.
You may think that you can skate by if you just have one or two employees, but the sooner you write down your expectations, the better.
Right.
So, yeah, I would say employee handbook, what's expected, things like that.
Yeah. And some grit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Listening to you at the beginning, and it sounds like, you part of your business is you've always had a good support group. Like you've had people behind you, and not everybody has that, so which doesn't mean that you shouldn't get into business, but it makes me think like, okay, if I don't have a support group already in business, would you recommend that they hire a coach or anything like that in business?
Well, I've had some experiences with coaches and consultants and things like that. If you have the funds for it, yes, absolutely. If you're starting up, with the bare minimum with funds, I would say maybe a mentor would be a better route.
Okay.
Definitely a cheaper route. Consultants, coaches, things like that, they're in it for the profit.
Sure.
And 9 times out of 10, what they're going to do is say, hey, I'm going to need you to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. And they're going to give you some homework to do. And they're not going to do anything. They're going to tell you to do it. So there you go. So if you're looking for, somebody to actually help and do the work, you're going to have to hire it.
Okay. So there we go. That's our insight for
Yep.
if you're thinking about starting a business.
Yeah.
What about along the way? I've talked to you outside of this, and it sounds like you have a really big heart, and you've already told one story about helping or having somebody that started other business because maybe they've been working through you a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you helped other people start a business?
Well, Dion and Gourmet Espresso Catering is the one that stands out.
Yeah.
I can tell you that we've had just, I couldn't even count how many entrepreneurs that were baristas for
Sure.
Gourmet Latte. And they've flown away and started up their own little businesses, whether I contributed to their entrepreneurial spirit or not. I don't want to take any credit for that, but it's been such a joy seeing my baristas blossom and grow their own little businesses. Some of them have grown into not just little businesses, but
Right.
bigger businesses. I can think of one of my managers who she's an esthetician, and she's just created quite the following on social media,
That's it.
and she's just killing it.
Good. You want to give her a shout out?
Yeah, Huntley. She's doing great.
Cindy.
Yeah, Sydney. She's amazing. And oh my goodness, there's Jen Beatles.
Okay.
She is a real estate mogul.
Okay.
She is just, I'm
Brilliant.
just blown away. I'm
All
just
right.
blown away. So she was a barista at our Smoky Point location for the longest time. And she was just very ambitious. And you could tell that she was going to make it in life.
You know what I love about listening to you is like you sound like you've been loving on all your people at the beginning. And as people transition, which we all do,
Yeah,
we reach
absolutely.
different levels of life and we move, and that's just part of life.
Yeah.
But as they're moving on and spreading those wings, like you're still a cheerleader.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Absolutely. You know, I've got their back.
Mm-hmm.
They've had my back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When they've put their time in, slinging some coffee and
Mm-hmm.
they're ready to move on, I'm absolutely all for it. It's bittersweet. And I always say it's bittersweet.
Right.
I don't want to lose them,
No, of course not.
but I always leave the door open. I
Because
go,
they're more. They were made of more than just that.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And I tell them, look, you know, you're always welcome to come back. You know, sling some coffee on the weekends.
Yeah.
You know,
Or you're
whatever
still
it takes.
friends. You're still family.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I gotta ask. You know, right behind you is a couple cans, and I just want to know a little bit more about. I heard a little bit, but can you tell us about Rev Up there?
Yeah, Rev Up is my other little baby.
Okay.
So Gourmet Latte is my big baby. It's
All right.
my primary focus. But Rev Up came about because we were using another big name energy drink
Okay.
that should not be mentioned. Probably.
You wanna
I'm
grab 'em?
Yeah,
let's
I'm
grab
gonna
them.
one.
Let's grab them both here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yes,
There you go.
please.
Do you drink regular or sugar free?
Sugar free.
Okay, then let's trade. You get the blue one. I get the pink one.
All right.
How
all right.
fitting.
Let's
Okay.
open this up
All right.
here.
Now I've got cheers.
Cheers. All right, cheers. You can see that right there. Where can they find Rev
At
Up?
all the Gourmet Latte
Sure.
shops, and they can just go to our website, www.gourmetlatte.com.
One more.
There you
All right,
there
let's
you
try
go.
this.
Cheers. All right. So you got sugar-free. I got regular.
Oh wow, this tastes good. Wow.
Oh, that's good.
I feel
Okay, this
even
is-
more awake. I was already
Yeah,
awake. I feel
right?
way more awake already. Tell me what sparked this? Why? I mean,
Absolutely.
there's already energy drinks out there. There's a lot of
There's millions of energy drinks
Yeah.
out there. What am I thinking?
Yeah,
right?
what are you thinking?
I know, another one? Well, this one is definitely unique. It's got high quality ingredients. It's made fairly locally. So the cans are produced here in Washington State.
Okay.
The ingredients are sourced all over, but our concentrate is made just over the border in Canada.
Our good old neighbors.
Yeah, our neighbors. Oh, Canada. And they do a really good job. So anyways, how this all came about is that we were using another big name. And it turns out that there was some issues going on with the orders and what was getting placed in our
So delays.
delays and things like that, and costs kept on increasing for no reason. And I'm like, you know what, we can do better, you know. And I looked at the ingredients of this other major brand that we were carrying, and I go, we could do better.
Okay. So health-wise, you're tring to make a difference in energy drinks.
Absolutely.
Mine says 0 calories here, which I like that. That goes along with my eating plan.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So yeah, and no crash. No crash.
Why is that?
It's just we use a natural caffeine product in here, and it's not as high as what you might think.
Okay.
You don't necessarily always need 5,000 milligrams of caffeine to, that's really going to have maybe the opposite effect of what you really want.
Okay.
You want to find that sweet spot. And I think that we found the sweet spot in the amount of caffeine that we have. Yeah.
I think you found the sweet taste.
Yeah,
I love the
thank
taste.
you.
And I'll let you know as the day goes on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I trust you. We're going to go back to some commercials here, and then we'll continue the segment.
Sounds good. I'm going to drink some more.
All right,
Rev
cheers
up.
again.
Cheers.
All right.
Love it.
We see the urgent threat of climate change every day. Tornadoes in Texas, drought in Europe, typhoons in the Philippines. But what don't we see? How the climate crisis hits vulnerable people the hardest, women and girls. That's why CARE helps the world's most marginalized people build resiliency and fight for a more just and sustainable world. You can help. Learn more at care.org/climate.
Hello, I'm Chris Erdmann. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW, I sit down with inspiring entrepreneurs, creative minds, and game changers to uncover the real stories behind their business. On my show, Made of More, we explore the challenges that they've overcome, the breakthroughs that they've celebrated, and the mindset that drives them forward. If you're ready to unlock your full entrepreneurial potential, Made of More is the show for you, because here we know you are made of more. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW.
Make it a great day. Keep your dial on Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to Made of More. I'm Chris Erdmann, your host. I'm here sitting with Karissa Bresheare, and we just finished up talking about her wonderful Rev energy drink that's all natural, doesn't leave you with crashes. But I want to give her this next minute just to talk a little bit about Gourmet Latte. And why don't you just free flow? I'm putting her on the spot. Just free
totally
flow.
Putting me on the spot.
Yeah,
Jeez. No pressure.
Yeah, just give us what do you want us to know? A commercial. Give us a minute here.
I would just say, come give us a try. If you haven't experienced Gourmet Latte before, come by any one of our 23 drive-thrus. And if you're in the Cape Coral, Florida area, swing by that location. It's absolutely a different vibe than our Pacific Northwest location. But yeah, check us out. The best way to find all of our locations is to go to our website, www.gourmetlatte.com. And you can see all of our location addresses, and there's a little quick link. And yeah, give us a try. We have great coffee.
They do. I can vouch for that. Great energy. You won't be sorry.
Yeah, great coffee, great rev up energy.
Yeah. Well, you know, part of the reason, what I want to get into now is like you've been a successful, long-standing business. You've had your ups and downs at the beginning, ups and downs through the middle. It's just ongoing, and I'm glad that the public's able to listen to this, because as there's other people out there thinking about maybe stepping out, starting their own thing, it's not always rainbows and butterflies.
Absolutely not.
No, and you just have, and that's part of the beauty of it. You're going to be tested. You're going to sharpen yourself along the way, and you're going to build up resilience.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's not over, you know. So one thing that Chris has been facing right now, it's like you have this location in Everett. How long have you had that location for?
Oh my goodness. This is a date that I definitely remember. It was right when COVID hit. So right when we were all in a panic. So it was March 2020.
As you started.
That's when I actually purchased that location.
Right.
And did some revamping, remodeling, put some money into it. Some of the...
Purchased an existing coffee shop.
I did,
okay.
yeah. It was existing coffee shop, and it had some deferred maintenance. And so definitely had to put some money into it and get some new equipment and clean it up and rebrand it in the whole 9 yards. Thankfully, quite a few of the baristas that were there before decided to stay, and I'm so grateful. They're my girls.
That's great.
So very, very fortunate.
You know, a lot of companies just let go of people and then start all over again, but you kept them.
Oh, absolutely. As long as they're willing to stay. I mean, I can't force anybody to stay.
Yeah, that speaks volumes about you again.
Well, I was just blessed, absolutely blessed. I will never forget that I had my first crew meeting with that crew, the previous owner, and the baristas hugged me.
Oh my goodness!
And it's like, I love you guys already.
Yeah, they hugged. Wow,
yeah, absolutely.
They were waiting for.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like, and it was just like the best experience ever. And so, as you were alluding to, we're having an issue with that one location. And
before we get in, how many baristas are there now?
Oh, we've got over 250.
Over 250, and it's a well-known location. Like you got a lot of customers that come through there.
Yeah,
so
250 for the whole entire company.
Yeah,
but for that location, we have about seven.
Yeah. Most of them been there a little while.
Yeah, quite a few of them have been there for a year or longer. Some of them have been there 3 years, and then I've got one that has been there the whole time.
Are any of them supporting their own families or anything?
Some are, but the manager there, she's been with me since day one.
Wow.
And so anyways, she's, so what you were alluding to.
Go and say it.
Oh, well, all right. Well, we got sent a notice that, hey, we're going to need you to wrap it up and leave the property. And that's happening next month. It's happening quick. It's happening so fast.
So let me get this straight. You got a notice from the landlord.
Yes.
So did the landlord sell?
The landlord did not sell. The landlord simply got a new big tenant. And I'm sure everybody knows this name, Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
And so Chick-fil-A is coming there to the property that we have our drive-through on. We sit out in the parking lot of a strip mall area. And so we're not the only business. There's the strip mall there that has about 8 businesses.
Okay. All facing the same thing
Absolutely. We're not alone. And so it's us and about 8 other businesses that got this same notice that, hey, we need you guys to take off.
And if I know you, you're not closing the doors.
I'm fighting. I'm fighting.
You're going to find a new spot.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, every day I've been searching for where can we set up. I do not want to lose our customer base. I want to make sure that, my baristas stay employed.
Yeah.
So every day I've been working towards finding another location.
Well, if I'm betting on anything, I'm betting on you.
Aw.
Yeah. I heard your track record. I know about your mom, I think this is divine timing too, because, having our very first show and airing this out to the greater Seattle area, and then hopefully beyond, maybe somebody's going to know of a space location in Everett. We're looking for a place in Everett. Let's just say,
I'm airing it all. I need the help. So this is a call for help. If anybody has a property or a location that would be suitable for a gourmet latte, that would be amazing. Yeah, just reach out to me.
Yeah.
You can email.
How do they reach out to you?
Yeah, so you can just email hello@Gourmet Latte, or you can email me personally, and it's Karissa@gourmetlatte.com, and it's just with a K, 1 R, 2 S's. So Karissa@gourmetlatte.com.
Yeah, and when we put this on the video, add that in there as well, so we'll have your link in there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
But this is not a celebratory thing.
No.
This is we're looking for a space.
Yeah, desperately.
A space that works well for this type of business. Going to have a bit of square footage. Could be attached to a gas station.
Yep.
Could be a parking lot.
Yep.
Could be a parking lot connected to another business.
Absolutely.
Does it have to be on a major roadway?
Necessarily.
But maybe something with a little bit more traffic.
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
That would be ideal. Accessibility.
Accessible. Has to be zone commercial.
Yes, it does. Yeah, we have to follow the rules. We can't just set up anywhere. But, enough space for a small espresso drive-through. I think the current size that we have there is about 8 feet wide and about 16 feet in length. So, yeah, anything that would accommodate that would be amazing.
So if you do email her, why don't you email her with the subject line "new space," and then we'll send back some requirements of what they need, right?
That would be amazing. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that. It's been heavy on my mind, and I know it's been a really stressful experience for my baristas. And then dealing with their customers, and they're dealing with, trying to break the news to the customers that, look, we're on limited time here. They're asking the baristas, any news? Are you going? Where are you guys going to go? And them not being able to say, we're just moving right down the road, or we're just going to this location. I mean, that's all that they can say is, we're looking. We're still looking.
Yeah.
So,
and if I know you, I think, right now, knowing who you are, it sounds like even if you don't find a space right away, you have the room to absorb.
Absolutely. I will find somehow, some way to make sure that my baristas do not lose their job. I also have friends in the business, so worst case scenario, but
we could relocate.
They could.
Yeah,
they absolutely could.
A lot of business owners wouldn't even take that time, but you are.
Well, you're talking about the crew that, took on this new owner and hugged me right out of the gate. So, I've got their back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
How would they recognize a new space?
Well, I think, it's just a matter of if they've got a location in mind that they think would be ideal for a drive-through, because that's all that we do. We don't do any sit-down. So that's not my wheelhouse. I try and stay in my lane, so to speak. No pun intended. Maybe.
Yeah.
So it's strictly drive-through. So if they think that they have a little bit of space for that, then I'm willing to take a look. And if it's a no-go, I tell them that immediately.
So through this, like right now, what are you learning about yourself?
Well, that I can overcome quite a bit. That even when I think that, I'm just dog tired and I'm just, all I want is a vacation, please. I still manage to wake up in the morning and do it all over again.
Yeah.
It helps when you get free coffee too.
That does help. Tell me about, doing it all over again. is there something about consistency as being an entrepreneur?
I think so, absolutely. Repetition, and once you find how to do things in a way that provides consistent results, you just repeat that process.
Just repeat it.
I would say to other entrepreneurs that, well, that's good. That's good advice. Repeat what works. You always want to keep your eye out and your fingers on the pulse of what else is out there. You want to be creative. You want to be innovative, keep things fresh. So there's something to be said about having your systems in place, but don't be afraid to change. Change it up every once in a while.
Yeah. What's something that you're changing up right now?
Our food and pastry offerings.
Oh.
So, we have great pastries and some good, snack options, but I just felt like they were getting old. It was time to introduce something that was, sounded good. So we just brought on some creme brulee donuts.
Okay. Sounds yummy.
And they are really yummy. And calzones. Calzones. And we just heat those up, and they're a nice little handheld,
okay. I'm going to have to try that sometime.
Yeah, snack item. And, as our customers aren't always looking for the standard muffin and pink cookie and things like that. Sometimes they need like some protein.
Something heartier, right?
And we want to provide that for them so they can get their coffee and their lunch too.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's good. So you're always changing, always doing something a little different.
Yeah.
And that's been something over the last 30 years. You got to stay fresh, right?
Absolutely. And we're now on DoorDash, a third-party delivery app. And I was, speaking of being set in your ways, I was really adamant about not wanting to do a third-party delivery. I just had concerns over the quality and wasn't quite sure why customers would want to pay for that sort of convenience. Why can't they just get in their car and, come up to our drive-thru? Isn't that convenient enough? But man, they really like DoorDash.
Oh, wow.
So we just recently got on DoorDash, I want to say end of January, and customers are definitely taking advantage of that.
Oh, fantastic.
It's kind of surprising and nice.
So, okay. Well, something else before, as we're concluding this over here, do you have a bigger vision for Gourmet Latte in the next 5-10 years or beyond?
I do.
Do you want to share any of that?
Well, sure.
Some dreams?
Yeah. Well, from the very beginning, I knew that I wanted multiples. So that's still the plan. It's just more locations. It's what brings me happiness. I love to, get them all set up and good to go. And then I turn them over to their manager and make sure that the manager has everything that they need to run it right. And that gives me a lot of joy. I love the startup process. I really love the startup process.
Is that your favorite process?
It is absolutely by far the favorite process.
And you love handing it off to the right manager.
I do. I love having my little checklist that I follow of making sure that they have all the equipment that they need, all the little utensils that they need, all the supplies that they need, and then, the grand opening.
Yeah.
And just turning it over to the experts, which is the manager and the baristas, and just watching them and how they interact with the customers. There's just nothing better. They're so good with
I could see you light up when you talk about that.
I love it. I love it. And I'll come through the drive-thru and pretend to be a customer and just, it's awesome.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
You seem like you have a lot of fun with that.
It's the best. It's the best feeling.
What about, do you see yourself in any other different states? I know you're in Florida and we're here in Washington.
I get a lot of requests. Say, when are you coming to AZ? And when are you, coming to Arizona?
You're branding AZ.
Yeah.
Scottsdale or.
Yeah. So maybe that's a place I should check out. Or maybe it's just my general manager who wants to go live there.
Yeah.
Her mom's there, and, so I think she's...
Might be the right person.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. So if I don't open up an AZ, I don't want her to leave me, so I might just be forced into it. I don't know.
Do you ever see you franchising this out?
So I explored franchising, and there's a lot of legalities with franchising, and oh my goodness, and just not having the control over the quality and the culture.
Yeah, I
just don't know, and that's, I kind of mentioned about, whether somebody who's starting off a new business, maybe they may not want multiples. Maybe they just want the one location, so they could just invest in that and not have the multiples. There's advantages to that. So I think when you get too many locations and you're not hands-on, you're going to start to lose, some aspects that made it so wonderful in the beginning. And
right. That personal
primarily,
touch.
yeah, that personal touch, the culture can suffer, things like that. So when I do grow, that's still the plan.
Yeah.
If I ever feel like I'm losing that part of the business, I'll probably stop, move on to something else.
That'll be the day.
Maybe real estate.
Yeah.
I'll come work with you.
We could work together on
Yeah.
something. You'd be great. You'd be
you.
great. You mentioned culture so many times.
Yeah.
And I've seen, and we've all experienced different cultures of different businesses, and ones that like draw us away, and others that really suck us into and want to experience again. Like, how do you maintain your culture?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it starts from making sure that the managers that we put in place understand that, we're all in this, we're all human, we're all fallible.
Yeah.
And, please manage with grace and kindness and compassion. And I think that they're good examples of that. So it starts with the managers and how they train and how they treat one another. And knock on wood, we've been pretty fortunate. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
We've been pretty fortunate. I mean, there's always little blips here
You're
and
always
there.
going to have a blip.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So how do you take care of those blips? How do you... Yeah.
A lot of times they take care of themselves and they don't show up to their shift, or they just say, you know what, this isn't the best fit for me and I'm out of here. And we're like, okay, that probably worked out for the best.
So they kind of see their way out, probably because
They
you've
see their
grown,
way out,
You've
yeah.
grown such a strong culture, like they could feel the pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. That, gossiping and doing whatever, X, Y, and Z is not going to be tolerated. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. That's great. Any other rules around culture?
Well, just be kind.
Just be kind.
Yeah.
Just be kind.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, we're wrapping up here, and I just want to say thank you so much. Like
thanks for having me.
Oh yeah. So again, my first guest, I couldn't have thought of a better guest to have on the show, and I think it has so many meanings here because hey, hopefully we get the word out on the street, and that tomorrow or next week you wake up, checking your email, you're going to have a flood of amazing locations coming through.
I appreciate that so much. I mean, I'll take any help I can get. So anybody's welcome to email me, and maybe something that you wouldn't think, I do respond to my emails. So
I'm surprised how quickly you answered your phone. Yeah, okay. So
I'm still very hands-on.
You are very hands-on. So as everybody can see or hear that, this show is called Made of More, and Karissa Bresheare of Gourmet Latte has been vulnerable and just gifted us with her 30-year story in the entrepreneurial business and showed us like how she's made of more and how adversities and hurdles can continue to happen, but she doesn't let them get her down. And she shows that she's made of more and that she hires people that help hold this culture together. And it starts with the managers at each one of the locations. And it really, because they're made of more, it really holds that culture together. And people that are challenging the culture that don't necessarily fit into the energy, the service and whatnot, they naturally move on.
They do.
Move on.
How nice.
Probably
Makes it easy.
Probably something that they're going to thrive at, hopefully. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
Here,
what
cheers.
an honor. Cheers.
All right.
All right. Cheers with a gourmet latte and a
Cheers
Reva.
with a Reva. All right. Thank you for listening.